The recruits all thought this plan was feasible. It's not shameful for recruits to run away if they can't win. After hearing this, Uzumaki smiled and said, "You little chickens, why do you want to run around? Just let us defeat you obediently. Wouldn't it be better to finish it sooner?" At this time, Lin quietly asked Jasmine to use her Forbidden Realm ability to break the wall next to her. Then Lin held a long knife and called on everyone to attack the masked team. Then everyone found the right time to escape. Hearing this, Rose's momentum suddenly rose. "Do you want to attack? Then let me play with you." Looking at Rose's momentum, the new recruits were so scared that they were stunned on the spot. Jasmine also took advantage of everyone's attention on Rose. Quietly gathering strength, she split the wall beside her with one knife. Linny immediately yelled, "Act now!" Everyone saw hope of escape. Everyone took action. After all, in this situation, whoever runs slower will be in the front row. Whirlpool directly controls the force field skills. Several weapons were fired. The recruits were immediately thrown into chaos. Rose raised her hand, summoned a pink hammer. The hammer immediately blocked the crack that had just been made. It's blocked. She stood on the hammer. Looking at the bottom jokingly, she said, "Run. Why don't you run?" Seeing this scene, Pang Pang was dumbfounded. "My God, this mask team is too cruel. Or I should use." Pang Pang hasn't finished his words. Lin picked him up and ran away. Pang Pang asked in confusion, "Didn't we say we were going to break out? What are you doing?" Lin explained speechlessly, "Are you stupid? There's no one at the gate now. Why don't we just leave?" Lin, Pang Pang, and Jasmine. The three of them left the gate openly. Jasmine saw this and couldn't help but praise. Use those new recruits as a cover to attract the attention of the mask squad. You are really cunning. After seeing Lin running away, Rose didn't care about that. They just killed the new recruits on the spot. Huangwo chased them out. They are the strongest fighting force in China. The octopus sea monster that can swallow a ship in one bite. They were all chopped in half by their swords, but they were almost killed by Lin. Just now, Lin used a trick to escape from the armory. Vortex immediately chased him, but as soon as he went out, he saw a cart suddenly coming towards him, and Lin was holding the key, greeting him with a smile on his face. Just when Uzumaki was full of doubts, suddenly he saw a cart full of explosives. Before he could react, instantly flames shot up into the sky. The fire devoured everything around it. The smoke cleared. The weapons depot that had just stood before them was razed to the ground. The other members of the masked team were amazed. They looked at the scene before them. It took a long time for Rose to react. It turned out that the door exploded first, then the ammunition in the entire arsenal all exploded. At this moment in the smoke, Uzumaki came out cursing. He was mumbling that this guy had a really dark heart. If I hadn't reacted quickly, I started swallowing in time, Uzumaki would have died right now. Suddenly, he quickly touched the mask again. Fortunately, the mask was still there. If the mask is lost, I will be ashamed to face people. At the same time, the instructors all praised Lin. You are worthy of being the agent of God. You are really good. Even in this situation, you can successfully break through. Almost blew off Uzumaki's mask. Another instructor looked at the report in his hand. He asked a question. Why hasn't Lin used the Red Angel's God Ruins yet? That's the Mortal Realm of Sequence 003. If he had used it just now, he could have easily gotten out without detonating explosives. After hearing this, Yuan Gang said he was waiting for an opportunity. And at this moment, Lin and the other two also fled to a safe place. Pang Pang looked worried. Pang Pang said, "Lin, you are so cruel. You won't blow him to death directly, will you?" Lin didn't think so. If Uzumaki died so easily, then he got into the special team through connections. It's a pity that we didn't blow off his mask just now. Otherwise, we would have won. At this time, Jasmine stood up. Take the initiative to introduce yourself. My name is Molly. Forbidden Ruins Universal Frequency Motion Sequence 076. I can control everything within the forbidden area. Control everything. The vibration frequency of the object in contact with me. Linny shook hands with her. My name is Lin. I am an angel agent. The man named Bailey Tuming did not have the forbidden ruins. Jasmine asked Lin seriously, "Why did you trick them into being baits?" Lin was thinking about the next plan, while saying that it was impossible for them to escape. We were able to break out because there were only 3 people defending. Once more people break out, the masked squad will definitely turn around and intercept. Then none of us will be able to escape. In the final analysis, we just took advantage of the difference in value between ourselves and the majority of people. In this way, we forced the masked team to make a choice. If we bite the bullet and break through with others, instead, no one can escape. Pang Pang was worried when he heard this. According to what you said, the masked team is too strong. They simply have no weaknesses. We are doomed to lose. Lin directly denied Pang Pang's statement. As long as we are not out, there is a chance. Now a lot of new recruits have been eliminated. Those who can stay are those who stick together like us, or those who are stronger. They are already in every corner, looking for a chance to ambush the masked team. The masked team will definitely seize the time. Defeat them one by one in the training camp. The only places that can be used for stealth operations are the cafeterias and classrooms, the dormitory building, and the tactical research room. Among these places, only the dormitory building has the largest area, the most concealed. So the teams ambushing here must be the most, and the masked team. Considering the consumption of time, physical strength, and mental strength, they will definitely choose the hardest bone to chew at the beginning. Choose the toughest bone. The masked team has a fatal flaw. That is, they are outnumbered. And this is our biggest opportunity. It's time for us to take the initiative. At the same time, Shen Qingju also brought a group of people, discussing how to ambush the masked team. At this time, one of his team members thought this ambush is a bit too obvious. They might be taken away by the masked team in one wave. But Shen didn't care much about this statement. It's okay. Everything is in my plan. The moon ghost, who was eavesdropping on the side, couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't help but show up and complain that I had been listening to your plan for so long. I really couldn't help it. There are too many loopholes in your plan. If you go to the battlefield, you will definitely fail. Everyone reacted instantly. He drew his sword and rushed towards the moon ghost. The moon ghost killed most of the new recruits in 2 or 3 moves. Shen Qingju looked at the moon ghost with a lot of thoughts. Suddenly, he snapped his fingers. Instantly, a black barrier spreads out with him as the center. Soon, it enveloped the moon ghost. After being trapped, the moon ghost realized that something was wrong. At this time, Shen Qingju spoke. Mask, I know that you can hear my voice, but you can definitely read my mouth shape. Now I've extracted all the gas around here. In a vacuum environment, people will not die immediately. Under normal circumstances, They can survive for 16 seconds. In this vacuum environment, except me, everyone else can only live for 16 seconds. Now 7 seconds have passed. You'd better take off the mask yourself. Otherwise, I don't mind killing you and them together. Here Shen had just finished talking. There was a long knife shot at him. He instinctively drew his sword to block, but he soon realized something was wrong. However, it was too late. He was kicked into the air. The moon ghost slowly lifted its invisibility and changed color, looked at him coldly when Shen was kicked away. The gas in this space returned again. The tone of moon ghost was extremely cold. You lunatic! You were so cruel in a competition. Shen raised his hand tremblingly. How else could I force you out? At this moment, the ring on his middle finger emitted a buzzing energy. The next second, a violent explosion suddenly broke out. In order to defeat the veterans, the new recruits actually fired grenades at their seniors. But the senior just raised his hand and caught the grenade. Just now, a huge explosion occurred on the roof of the dormitory building. Lin and his 3 companions, who had been observing from a distance, also noticed this situation. Lin analyzed while observing. Just as I thought, the masked team will disperse first. They will expand the search area in the dormitory area. As long as one person comes into contact with the enemy, everyone will quickly move towards him. This guy named Shen. Although the noise was loud, but the mask still didn't explode. I am afraid. The masked squad has already begun to gather in his direction. The fatty on the side asked a question. Didn't you just say that you would actively hunt down the masked squad? Then why are we still here watching? Jasmine said with a look of disappointment. Stupid. He is waiting for the captain of the masked team to make a move. So far, only his ability is still unknown. Before hunting, you should get information about the prey. This is common sense. After the observation just now, Lin thinks that Shen may have a trick up his sleeve. At the same time, Yugui and Shen are in a chasing scene. Seeing that Shen was chasing him and setting off explosions, the moon ghost immediately swung the long sword backwards, stopped Shen's pace. But the long sword was immediately bounced back by the barrier. Fortunately, he had transformed his body into the moon in advance, just avoided the damage of the long sword. Then Shen raised his hand. The ring emitted a buzzing energy again. Instantly, a violent explosion broke out. The moon ghost walked out of the thick smoke. He was a little angry. This group of new recruits, why do they like explosions so much? Are they all graduates from the Department of Arts? Shen Qingju said, I compress the oxygen and nitrogen content to a certain ratio. Add some sparks. It will cause an explosion. This kind of large-scale, indiscriminate killing ability, it is your natural enemy. Hearing this, Yugui adjusted his mask. With your current state, your attack range is only 10 meters. It is far from indiscriminate killings in a large area. It is still a long way to go. After saying that, Shen rushed towards the moon ghost again. Suddenly, the light above his head dimmed. It seemed as if he was covered by something. He looked up and found that it was actually a square object falling from the sky. He was so scared that he hurriedly tried to resist. This 8-foot-high hammer is no joke. Rose shrunk the hammer, said with a playful tone, Forbidden Ruins Sequence. 68 Kimming Super High Power Forbidden Ruins. No wonder Instructor Yuan asked us to take action. This is indeed a bit difficult to deal with. At this moment, all members of the masked team have gathered. Vortex looks around. He is puzzled. Didn't they say that among the new recruits this time, in addition to a divine agent, are there 3 super high-level restricted areas? The woman with the kitchen knife, plus this man who controls the air. Where is the other one? Wang Mayan didn't answer either, just said that we were tricked. The vortex turns back. Then they saw 4 people walking towards them. The windows of the dormitory buildings on both sides were suddenly broken. Countless guns were aimed at them. Dozens of meters of vines and earth walls rose along the way. The area where the 5 people were was tightly blocked. Combined with the dormitory building structure, this place has become a closed duel arena. The smoke dissipated. Shen Qingju appeared with dozens of new recruits. Looking at the masked team with a smile, he said, "You don't think that the masked? We still don't know that someone could be invisible. In fact, the real battle plan has been completed long ago. The plan just now. We said this deliberately for this." The assassin wearing the moon mask heard it. After hearing this, Tianping couldn't help but praise it. This arrangement is really smart. They know they can't win in a head-on battle. They set up a closed circular fire network here. They want to take advantage of their numbers to wear us down. Uzumaki looked at Wang Mayan and said, "This is a bit difficult. Captain, it's time for you to take action. I want to go back and eat barbecue early." Seeing Uzumaki so arrogant, the recruits immediately opened fire, but the vortex just raised his hand and opened up. A purple vortex swallowed all the attacks. The recruits saw that the attack had no effect. They all became nervous in an instant, but Shen Qingju shouted to continue the attack. They only had the mental power of the Lantern Realm. Can't hold on for long. As expected, Vortex has already started to complain to Wang Mayan. He said he was about to be drained dry. Wang Mayan asked Vortex to stop after hearing this. The purple vortex disappeared instantly. The ammunition exploded. Seeing this, the recruits were all excited. "We succeeded, brothers. Let's try harder." But the bullet stopped in front of Wang Mayan again. At the same time, Shen's movements slowed down. He reacted instantly. Time was slowed down. And in this stagnant time, Wang Mayan slowly drew out the black knife from his waist. There was a flash of golden light. Then there was a huge blade light. Wang Mayan split the entire building in half. Jasmine, who was observing from a distance, saw this scene. She was full of disbelief. Is this really the realm of the lamp? It's just like a cheat. At this time, the fat guy next to him explained that you were right. He really cheated. Behind Wang Mian is the god of time. Codename 017, his god ruins, is to control time. The black knife in his hand is a forbidden object. Using the forbidden ruins cutting abyss, the effect is to condense one's own speed into a sword line. The faster the speed, the stronger the sword line. Although the danger level of this forbidden item itself is not high, but in Wang Mayan's hands. But he has a lethality comparable to that of super high power. With only the strength of the Zan realm, he can swing a sword comparable to that of the Chuan realm. Lin and Jasmine were both very surprised to see that Pang Pang was so familiar with Wang Mayan. They were all very surprised. Pang Pang continued to explain that the Juan in his hands was originally given to him by my family. When I was a child, I often used that knife to chop mosquitoes. Hearing this, Jasmine asked in surprise, "Your family is that?" The Bailey family is known as a Forbidden Realm item museum. Low-key, "I am just a child from an ordinary family," Jasmine said with disdain. She hates rich boys the most. The richer, the more she hates. The man is a natural swordsman, but he cannot draw his sword. Because once he holds the sword, the demonic power in him will awaken. When he draws his sword, he will be like a purgatory Shura, killing all the life he sees. Just now, after Wang Mayan cut the building in half with one knife, began to plan the action. Qian Wei and Yu Gui, Uzumaki, the three of you come with me to search other places. Tianping, you stay in the dormitory. See if there are any fish that have slipped through the net. It's time for us to have a good meeting. The agent of God who has been running away. Tianping complained while cleaning. It's like this. How could there be any fish that have slipped through the net? The captain is too cautious. As soon as he finished speaking, Cao Yuan in the ruins dug up the stone and walked out. This scared Tianping a lot. I am a crow mouth, but it's interesting that it's okay. As a new soldier, you have a good ability to respond, Cao Yuan explained. I didn't do anything, just resting in the room. The gravel floats in the air. Is this your forbidden ruins? I feel pretty good. Quickly eliminate me. Tianping was stunned. What did you say? Don't you want to resist? Cao Yuan sat up with a helpless look on his face. It's boring, and I'm afraid you'll kill me if I resist. Tianping laughed loudly at the words. It's interesting that you are such a rookie, but you are so arrogant. Are you looking down on me? Cao Yuan said seriously. Maybe it can. This immediately aroused Tianping's curiosity. In that case, then I must give it a try. While the two were talking, a sword energy attacked Tianping. He dodged and controlled the rubble around him to counterattack. Moli easily shattered all the rubble with the sword in hand. Lingy took the opportunity to grab Cao's collar, wanted to take him away. But Cao Yuan asked Lin in return, "Why did you save me? I just want to be eliminated." Lin was stunned for a moment after hearing this. Then he said, "It's up to you. But we are going to fight the masked team here soon. If you Dante want to join the battle, please Dante interfere with our actions." At this time, Pang Pang shouted from behind, "Come and help me. This Shen Qingju. I can't pull him out by myself." After hearing the name Lin, Cao Yuan asked in shock,